So let's take a look at how to load and edit songs and set lists within Playback. So what you're gonna wanna do first is make sure Playback is open, and in this case, it is not open. So click this button here with the orange play button on it, and once Playback is open, you're gonna wanna open your Setlist tab up here. Little button here with the music note. Now to load a set list, what you're gonna wanna do is click on Import from Planning Center, select your desired service type, select your desired service date, and ideally, each of the tracks should have already been downloaded onto the computer. And if they're not, these grayed out cloud buttons will be clickable, and you'll need to select the cloud button for each of the songs that have not been downloaded yet. Once they've been downloaded, you're gonna click Open, you're gonna click Load, and you're gonna see your set list here with everything you need. So first things first, we're gonna want to edit our song. So in this case, we're gonna edit Gratitude because it is 9 minutes and 6 seconds long, which is very long. So I want the song to end after this chorus, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click Edit. You'll see these little minus buttons here and your pluses. So to get rid of any part of a song, you'll click the minus button. And in this case, I'm just gonna delete everything that's after that point where I want the song to end. And I am going to keep the ending part of the song here because it's got that cue for the band to let them know that the song is finished. Now, in the event that I need to add a part of a song, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you've got your plus button here. And so if we wanted to add like an extra instrumental after all of the other 38 instrumentals, we are going to add instrumental. I don't know where that is, or interlude. And you've just added an extra interlude. If you need to add a looping click at the end of the song, like for Overflow or Tuesday Night Prayer, you'll again click the plus, scroll all the way to the bottom, and select Click Section. And that little guy right there means it is looping forever and ever and ever. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to mute any of the stems that we don't want coming through in the house. And as kind of a general rule of thumb, I mute drums, bass, and background vocal stems. And so we're going to do just that by selecting the stems we don't want. And so if it's grayed out, that means it's muted. If it's white, that means it is coming through and it's live. So we've got our alto, background vocals, and choir. And we're going to need to do that for all of our songs. That one's already been done. Nice. Okay. From there, we're going to need to edit our transitions. So for a Sunday morning, the current way we have things going is we've got the second song starting automatically after the first song. And so the way we set that is we're going to select our transition here. So we've got our transitions between each song. This one we're going to click on. And you can see we've got a lot of different options here. And basically these three all do the exact same thing. In my experience, crossfade is the smoothest way for the next song to trigger automatically. And we can see that here. So we've just ended praise and we are starting gratitude automatically. So that is how you prepare a Sunday set list and get everything ready for not just Sundays, but any event we're having where we're using tracks. That's how you set up and load your tracks. Now, in the event that, hey, we're in sound check and we want to throw in a new song, we want to do, let's say, Holy Spirit by Jesus Culture. To add a song, what you'll want to do is click Edit, click on Add a Song, and type in the song that we want to add. It helps if you can spell. Now, one quick little note is that most of these songs we don't own the tracks for. So there's a lot of different options, but we can't load tracks for any of the ones that we don't own. The only one that we own tracks for is this version up here. So let's say we tried to load this one. There's a couple different options. You can load just the click and guide, or this is the only option. So it's going to load a click and a guide, but it's not going to load any of the stems. But if we load the version that we own, we're gonna see that we have our multi-tracks wave option here under product. From there, you can select your key. So let's say we wanted to do it in the key of A. You can select A and you can select add. And in the event that we want to move a song around, if it'll let me here. Yeah, so you're gonna, if you wanna put this song like at the beginning, you're gonna click on it and you're gonna drag it all the way to the beginning. And you'll select done. Again, you'll need to get rid of the stems that you don't want coming through. And that is how you edit a set list. And if you need to also get rid of a song, click the minus, click delete. And make sure, as always, that you save your set list. In the event that Playback crashes or you leave or whatever, right? If you don't save, more than likely you'll come back and all of your progress is lost. So save to iCloud, you can put in whatever you want, and you'll select save. And we have just saved our set list, and you'll hit done. A couple other unessential things, but things that are helpful to know. So in the event that a part of a song, like a stem, is kind of sticking out, right? We've got all of our faders here. So if the piano is really loud for whatever reason, we can bring that down just a little bit. Another thing that we can do too is, let's say we want like the acoustic guitar. Looks like we already have an automation here. We want the acoustic guitar at the end of the song to fade out, but we want everything else to stay in. We're gonna mess with automations to make that happen. And actually, I'll use a different song as an example. So let's do piano. We want the piano to fade out at this point in the song for whatever reason. So we're gonna click edit. We're gonna go to automation. We're gonna click the plus. We're gonna name our automation instance, and we're going to select how long it takes for that piano to fade out. And let's do 4 beats. And you can see the automation here, 4 beats. And we're gonna say, hey, I want the piano to be silent at the end of the 4 beats. So now you can see once we start playing the song, let's actually start here. The piano's up, everything's bumping, and we get to that chorus, and the piano is gonna fade out, and everything else is gonna stay in. And of course, too, you can do that for all of the tracks if you want them all to fade out there, or some of them, or just one of them, or none of them. That's up to you. And lastly, for troubleshooting, so let's say that the tracks are coming through the speakers on the laptop, but they're not coming through in the ears or in the house. First of all, check all of your connections. So check and make sure that everything's plugged in. All of the USB-Cs are plugged in to the side of the computer. And if they're not, then plug them in. From there, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go to your settings. Check your audio device, and if it is on MacBook Pro speakers, make sure you select whatever is underneath it. And typically it's gonna be that Behringer interface, which is, I think, called like UMC 245 or something. If MacBook Pro speakers is the only option that we have, again, check your connections and you should see another option pop underneath. I believe that covers everything when it comes to tracks and playback. Everything that's important at least, but if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Sarah, and we're happy to help you.